Hello my dear students and welcome to your favorite educational YouTube channel English वाली मैम. So आज की हमारा जो OTT सीरीज है by day 54 know how to get the perfect score उसका एपिसोड 26 है. एंड आज के एपिसोड में we are going to be studying the chapter from your textbook called Bholi. So we know that we study the chapter in a flow chart manner, right? So let us start with the revision of the chapter. But before that, I want to remind all of you, if you've still not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do that. Please like it, please share it with your friends, because very soon ma'am is going to come up with interesting videos which are going to help you achieve that perfect score. I'm going to share certain techniques, certain tips and tricks with you which will help you get the perfect score in your English board exam. So let us start with the revision of the chapter. Okay, so it says Bholi. So she's a shy girl who's born in a village and she faces several challenges since her childhood. So we know in the very beginning of the story, it's been made clear to us that this girl, her original name was Sulekha, but due to her habitual traits, she was named as Bholi. And since her childhood, she faced several challenges. Like the first challenge that she faced was when she was only 10 months old. She fell from the cot, from the bed, which probably damaged some part of her brain, because of which she was not able to respond, she was not able to reply as quickly as the other children, and in a way that also led to her stammering. Okay. The second incident is that when she was 2 years old, she suffered from smallpox, which left marks all over her body. Alright. And of course, she was ill-treated by her family. Ill-treated in a way that she was scolded unnecessarily. She was not given new clothes to buy. She was mocked upon by her parents, by her brothers and sisters, that she was so shabby looking. Alright. And she was never really allowed, or she was never really taken care of in terms of her physical appearance. Like her mother never really cared to see to it that her daughter Bholi or Sulekha gets to wear neat and tidy clothes or new clothes. Alright. And she was born to a man named Ramlal, who had 7 children, 3 sons and 4 daughters, and the youngest of them was Bholi. It was a prosperous farmer's household and there was plenty to eat and drink. All the children except Bholi were healthy and strong. The sons had been sent to the city to study in schools and later in colleges. Of the daughters, Radha, the eldest, had already been married, and second daughter, Mangla's marriage, had also been settled, and when that was done, Ramlal would think of the third, Champa, and they were good looking, healthy girls, and it was not difficult to find bridegrooms for them. Okay. Now in the midst of all this, suddenly there is a school that is inaugurated in the school. And who had come for the opening of the school? It is the Tehsildar who had come to perform the opening ceremony of the school. And so we are on page number 55. He said to Ramlal, as a revenue official, you are the representative of the government in a village. And so you must set an example to the villagers. So you must, how will you set an example? That you should send your daughter to the school. And because this was a girls' school which had opened in a village. So what happens is that Bholi's mother, she shows tremendous resentment about Bholi being sent to school. Okay, that night when Ramlal consulted his wife, she cried, "Are you crazy? If girls go to school, who will marry them?" So she even goes on to say that first of all, this girl is not even beautiful looking. If you educate her, we will never be able to find a bridegroom for this girl. So look at the kind of conservative mindset Bholi's family has, basically her mother. And you might think कि मैम ऐसे कौन सोचता है, but let me tell you, in extreme remote villages of India, unfortunately, even in some urban areas, you do find people with this kind of a mindset that if you let a girl progress, you are putting yourself into trouble. Okay, so then Ramlal, he caught Bholi by the hand. Okay, so but Ramlal had not courage to disobey the Tehsildar, and he says to his wife, send Bholi to school. As it is, there's little chance of her getting married with her ugly face and lack of sense. Let the teachers in the school worry about her. So the mindset the parents had was that till the time she is in school, at least she's off our head. So the teachers can think about what is to be done with this girl. As of now, because Tehsildar has expected something out of me, I need to fulfill this. And Bholi was sent to school. Now when she was sent to school, her father handed her over to the headmistress and she was asked to sit in a classroom. So when she sat in the all alone in the corner of that classroom, she was just gazing at the pictures that were there in the classroom. So there were pictures of various animals. So she was thinking about those animals and trying to basically gauge that what exactly is this classroom setup. Okay, and while she was wondering about all this, the teacher asked her the teacher asked what her name was. And Bholi, when she stood up to tell her name, she started stammering because she had that issue, which is of course recoverable as well. But no one in her family made an effort for Bholi. So what happens next? Now everyone in the class starts mocking Bholi and they start bullying her. So already Bholi was ill-treated by the family. Now even at school she faced a similar behavior where she was just a piece of mockery for everyone around. So what happened next? Now when the school got over, Bholi, she kept on sitting all alone in that corner with her head down and she was sobbing. And the teacher saw Bholi and she stepped forward to speak to this girl. So now let us come to page number 56. Sorry, 58. Okay, so instead let's come to page 57. So if you look at the words well done, well done. Okay, well done, well done. The teacher encouraged her. Come on now, the full name. And she finally said, after a lot of stammering, Bholi. At last she was able to say it and felt relieved as if it was a great achievement. Well done. The teacher patted her affectionately and said, put the fear out of your heart and you will be able to speak like everyone else. And Bholi looked up to ask, was it really possible? So she said yes. And Bholi herself was astonished that she had been able to say it. Now, so basically this teacher was the first person ever who spoke to Bholi in such a respectful, in such a loving and a caring manner. So it came as a shock to Bholi, and even her teacher gave her a book to read. She said, you read this book, gradually within a month you'll be able to read this entire book, then I will give you another book to read, and eventually gradually you will be able to read, write and speak like other children in the school. So her teacher kept on encouraging her, and years passed and Bholi, of course, she enjoyed going to school, and now she was a grown-up girl. So she had attained a marriageable age. Now what happened? So page number 58. One night after dinner, Ramlal said to his wife, "Then shall I accept Bishambar's proposal?" "Yes, certainly," his wife said. "Bholi will be lucky to get such a well-to-do bridegroom. A big shop, a house of his own, and I hear several thousands in the bank. Moreover, he is not asking for any dowry." "That's right. But he's not so young, almost the same age as I am, and he also limps. Moreover, the children from his first wife are quite grown up." So imagine the conversation that Ramlal and his wife are involved into. So there's a marriage proposal which has come for Bholi, wherein the bridegroom is much older than him. So his wife said, "So how does that matter if he's that old, if he limps? It doesn't matter." She says whether he's 45 or 50. So we are lucky that he's from another village and he does not know about her pockmarks and lack of sense. So her mother says it doesn't matter if the man she's getting married to is more than double her my daughter's age. It's better to get her married. All right. And her father says, "I wonder what Bholi will say." So she says, "What will that witless one say? She is like a dumb cow." So Bholi, left with no other option, is forced to accept the marriage proposal. Alright. And it also talks about how somewhere her sisters are jealous of the fact that how could Bholi get such a perfect proposal. But was it really a perfect proposal? No, it wasn't. Alright. And then the day of marriage came, and the moment the two were on the stage, so bridegroom lifted the garland of yellow marigolds. A woman slipped back the silken veil from the bride's face. And the moment this groom saw the pock marks on Bholi, he immediately started passing remarks, and he made a demand for a large sum of money. 5,000 rupees. For maybe some of you might think, "Ma'am, 5,000, why large sum of money?" The time we are talking about and the situation we are talking about, or the area we are talking about, is still 5,000, a big amount of money. And he says that because I am willing to marry your daughter, मैं तो एहसान कर रहा हूँ एक तरीके से, you should be thankful to me. For that, I am charging you 5,000 rupees. So if you want that today your daughter should get married, you ought to give me 5,000 rupees. Ramlal went and placed his turban, his honor, at Bishambar's feet. "Do not humiliate me so. Take 2,000 rupees. So he says 5,000, or you can keep back your daughter. Tears streaming down his face, Ramlal went in, opened the safe and counted out the notes. He placed the bundle at the bridegroom's feet. But how did Bholi react to all of this? Alright. So, if we come to page number 60. Okay. So once again the veil was slipped back from the bride's face, but this time her eyes were not downcast. She was looking up, looking straight at her prospective husband, and in her eyes there was neither anger nor hate, only cold contempt. So how Bholi reacted, it surprised everyone else. And Bishambar raised the garland to place it around the bride's neck, but before he could do so, Bholi, she hand struck out it like a streak of lightning, and the garland it flung and fell into the fire. And she says, "Pitaji," said Bholi in a clear, loud voice, and her father, mother, sister, brother, everyone startled to hear her speak without even the slightest stammer. She says, "Take back your money. I'm not going to marry this man." And she says, and her father tries to convince that this is a matter of our reputation. So she says, "I don't care. It is not. This man is surely a greedy being, and I am not willing to marry such a man." And Finally, the marriage was called off. Everyone was gone. Ramlal turned to Bholi and said, "What about you? No one will ever marry you now. What shall we do with you?" And Sulekha said in a voice that was calm and steady, "Don't you worry, Pitaji. In your old age, I will serve you and mother, and I will teach in the same school where I learned so much. Isn't it right, ma'am?" So Bholi's teacher had also come to attend the wedding. The teacher had all along stood in a corner watching the drama. She said, "Yes, Bholi, of course," she replied. And in her smiling eyes was the light of deep satisfaction that an artist feels when contemplating the completion of her masterpiece. Okay, so that's all about this story. So now let us talk about the important characters in the story. Okay, so of course we know that the most important character in the story is Bholi. So talking about Bholi, so she is an underconfident girl in the beginning of the story. If you talk about, she is an introvert, but at the same time she's also a good learner. How do we know that she's a good learner? Despite no support from her family, she completed her education. She took her school, her academics seriously. Okay? Then, talking about Bholi's teacher. So, she's of course kind, she's caring, and most importantly, she is very dedicated towards her student, and she was determined to help her students grow. And this we know with the example of Bholi, how she helped a shy and introvert and underconfident girl develop the confidence to speak in front of so many people. And despite having a background, a conservative family background, this girl refused to a marriage proposal which she knew was not good for her. Alright, so we will all meet in the next episode. Till then, do like, share, and subscribe to English Funny Ma'am. All the best.